Despite economic uncertainty that's happening here in Calgary and Canada and across the world, let's be honest, the luxury market here in Calgary is really holding its own. There's a handful of neighborhoods that are actually growing and they're getting better and they're really great places to invest. There's a few that are slowing down, and today's plan is I'm going to talk all about the stats, what's happening, and what's going on. But hey, you know what? We get to join Mercedes-Benz downtown in a beautiful CLE 56 AMG. It's a sub 4-second car, but we'll talk about that later. So the luxury market has seen some growth here in Calgary over the last number of years, and we're kind of seeing that still happening right now. Over the last month, so this is all February 2025 numbers, there was 475 active properties over $1 million here in Calgary. There was 126 that sold last month, and for Canmore, we had 66 actives, 13 sales, and then in the rural areas, we ended up seeing 49 actives, 9 sales in Foothills, and 88 actives and 19 in rural Rocky View. When we look at the actual months of inventory, now months of inventory is one of those numbers that's really, really important to watch. So months of inventory, we have 30 days and we have 90 days. So what this means is we take the 30-day sales compared to the actives currently, like on the 1st of March, or the last 90-day sales divided by 3 compared to the active numbers of properties in March. And so what it shows here is kind of an interesting story. So places like Bragg Creek, right? 90-day month of inventory there is 24 months of inventory. However, the last 30 days was 9 months. So what that shows us is that it's actually getting better in Bragg Creek compared to the last 90 days of what we saw. And all of the areas are getting better as we get into the spring market. So Calgary, the last 90 days was 4.3 and the last 30 days was 4.2. Places like Canmore, actually, I lied. Canmore is getting worse. Canmore went up to 5.8 months over the last 30 days, where it was a 4.5 over Christmas. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's more international buyers that are buying in Canmore over the last 90 days, or if it's just kind of what happens. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. And places like Heritage Point, it cut in half. Went from 10 months of inventory down to 5 months of inventory. Now, when we look at the median sale prices, Canmore is still leading. Again, these are only properties over $1 million, but we saw a $1.785 million median sale price in Canmore. And then you can see all the other numbers on the charts there. When we're looking at dollars per square foot, so how much a home are you getting for the dollar that you're buying? Well, Canmore is leading again at $922 per square foot. Heritage Point is at second place this last month for $765. And when it comes to Calgary, we're sitting at $558 per square foot. So here's all the stats, all the numbers on the screen. Pause it if you want to look at it. I'm going to keep going. We're talking about Calgary market specifically. Now, last month, we saw 126 sales. So one of the things we noticed the end of last year in 2024 was that a lot of these, the number of sales was like double the year before. So 126 was February, and last year, February, was 141. So we've actually seen a decrease, a slight decrease compared month over month, or year over year, I should say, for the number of sales that have happened. The trend line for pricing is still going up, and the trend line for number of sales is still on the up as well. So we'll see how the spring market goes. We'll see what happens with homes over $1 million, but we could continue to see that going up. Now, this last chart is all about the months of inventory based on price ranges. So if you remember, 2.5 to 4 months, that's considered a balanced market in the whole city, all price ranges. I would say if you're under 4 months, you're kind of in more of a seller's market, just because, again, there's less buyers and less properties in higher priced properties in the city. So anything in here, you got 3 months, 3.8, 4.3, 5.4. It starts shifting up to 5.4 months as soon as you jump over 1.3 million. Under 1.3, between 1 to 1.3, it's technically kind of in a balanced seller's market. And then we get back into that balanced and seller's market from 1.4 all the way up to 1.9. So I want to share with you a handful of neighborhoods that are great investments, places that you should consider if you're buying $1 million or over. Now, the last month, there was 129 neighborhoods that actually had homes in them that sold over $1 million. So of those 129, about a third of them are trending upwards, meaning in months of inventory, meaning they're kind of slowing down. A third of them are getting faster, meaning they're kind of going quicker into a seller's market. And the other third have roughly kind of like not enough data. So we can't really say which way they're trending. But the neighborhoods that I want to share with you, the first one is here, and it's in Altadore. Now, Altadore is located in Calgary's inner city. It is a well-known neighborhood for luxury properties. Last month, of the sales, 100% of them were detached and semi-detached properties. The median sale price for last month was $1.35 million. And how the months of inventory work is the 90-day number was 3 months of inventory, and the 30-day number, it's actually 2.33. So again, it's speeding up. And so with that, we only had 2 places that went off market. There's 18 actives and 9 sold last month. On average, the last 3 months, there's about 7 sales that happen every month. So truth be told, Altadore, it's on a lot of buyers' lists, and it might be on yours if you're considering a home over $1 million. So the next neighborhood you should consider is Britannia. It's an exclusive neighborhood down along Elbow Drive and has some stunning properties in it. Over the last month, we ended up seeing a month of inventory of 2 months. Now, 90-day number was also 2 months. So this is showing that there's real stability inside that neighborhood. The median sale price last month was actually $3.1 million. So this is a very different neighborhood than the rest of the ones we're going to suggest, but they only had 1 sale last month. There's only a few active places and only 1 went off market. So it's kind of an exclusive area, but one to really have on your radar if that's the price range that you're considering. So another neighborhood you might want to consider is called Richmond. Now, Richmond is another one of these southwest inner city neighborhoods that have a lot of really great luxury properties that are over $1 million. Now, here's the reason doing 90-day and 30-day months of inventory is really important. Because last month, like 2 months ago, it had a 12-month inventory, which was insane, really large, really high in the buyer's market, where last month it had a 2.75. So it really fluctuated a ton. And so Richmond, its 90-day number is about 4.13 months of inventory. Now, when we look at how many sales happened last month, there was about 4 sales. It sells about 2.7 per month. It's kind of the average. It has 10 actives in there right now. And the median sale price last month was about $1.19 million. So I want to share with you another interesting location. Now, this is a neighborhood. Well, it's actually 3 neighborhoods, but under one umbrella. It's called Trywood. And we got Charleswood, Collingwood, and we got Brentwood. Now, all these areas are individual neighborhoods, but they share like a similar community association. They have very similar feel, and they're literally right by each other, right down here in the northwest part of Calgary. The reason that we're bringing it up is I want to show an example of neighborhoods that are seeing a little bit of a change that's happening. So it kind of goes from one end to the other end. Brentwood is kind of behind me. We're here in Charleswood, and then Collingwood is over there. So in Collingwood is the most inner city of the 3. Then we have Charleswood, but Collingwood's numbers last month, it had a 2-month absorption rate over the last 30 days, which is down from 3 months for its 90-day number. And it had a median sale price of $2.3 million. Now we move a little bit further out. In Charleswood, the 90-day number was 2 months of inventory, and it's down to 1 month of inventory for the 30-day number, and it had a $1.1 million median sale price. Now, don't get me wrong, there's not $1 million between these 2 different neighborhoods. It's just the fact that that's the sale prices of the areas. So Brentwood, if we go a little bit further out, what's interesting is the 90-day number is actually 6 months of inventory for $1 million or over. So Collingwood, 3 months, Charleswood 2 months, and Brentwood is 6 months. The whole market for Brentwood is actually 2.33 months. Now, all these numbers, what does it mean? At the end of the day, there's more people doing bigger infills, and there's more buyers for these infills that are coming. People are buying down in Brentwood a lot more for the lots, and they're building the houses on them. And so it's a very interesting area that's transitioning, and it's kind of having a lot more million-dollar properties in it. So if you're looking for a new infill or you want to build something, this could be a great place for you to look. So 2 more neighborhoods that I think are going to be really great for this list is this one right here, Discovery Ridge. This neighborhood is truly like one of my favorite neighborhoods. If I was going to move anywhere in the South, this is probably one of the areas that I would move to. Now, its location is fantastic and the homes are amazing too. Over the last 30 days, it only had a 0.33 months of inventory, which is like nothing. 90 days was 0.75 months of inventory. So there's literally like nothing here over $1 million for sale. It goes super, super fast. The whole market, including the condos, everything in this community is 1.27 months of inventory. So those homes over $1 million, the median sale price is $1.26 million. Now, the other neighborhood is an amazing neighborhood, and this is probably my first choice if I was going to move down south, and that's Lake Bonavista. And there's a reason for it, because it actually has 0 months of inventory for 90 days and 0 months of inventory for 30 days, which is kind of crazy actually, because 5 sales happened last month. There's usually 2.3 sales per month in Lake Bonavista, and 100% of these are all detached or semi-detached properties. And the median sale price for Lake Bonavista is $1.35 million. So I've got 3 neighborhoods that I want to share with you where a lot of these neighborhoods are already in a buyer's market, and it seems like they're trending even further into a buyer's market. So slowing down, getting better, depends on which side of the coin you're on. Now, the first one is Mahogany. Now, Mahogany is down in the southeast part of Calgary, and it's a really nice area. Beautiful, new community, lots of great homes, and a lot of great apartments. And that's where that kind of changes the story a little bit. A lot of these luxury homes, $1 million and over, the sales that happened last month, 55% of them were detached or semi-detached, and 45% were apartments over $1 million. So that is really skewing the market. As of last 30 days, they had an 8 months worth of inventory, and the 90-day was 5.3. So when you look at those numbers, it's trending slower, which is kind of the opposite of where things are going. So I think the apartments are kind of skewing with the stats in Mahogany. Now, we are in we're in Edworthy, but right over here is Parkdale. And Parkdale is another one of these neighborhoods that is actually trending a little bit differently. So if we look at it, 100% of their sales were detached and semi-detached properties. The 90-day number was 5.5 months of inventory. Not bad, but it's in a buyer's market. The 30-day was 11. So that's like really, really slowing down. There's usually 2 sales per month here over the last 90 days, and there's only 1 last month. And the median sale price here was $1.07 million. Now, last on our list is Banff Trail. This one's a little bit of a unique situation. Banff Trail has had a lot of RCG, a lot of the different types of, buildings that are going in the infills, but they're like the 4-plexes, 6-plexes, 8-plexes, things like that. So the 100% of the homes over $1 million were actually detached or semi-detached properties. So the 90-day months of inventory was actually 6.75 months, which is kind of really deep into a buyer's market. The 30-day was 9 months. So that really, really changes kind of what it's looking like. And I think what's happening there is there's not as many luxury infills that are being built, but it's more of these like 4-plex, 6-plex, 8-plex type properties. And I mean, truth be told, it kind of changes that neighborhood quite a bit. The median sale price for them was 1.05 months. Now, if you find all these stats interesting, you can head up here and watch the next video.